Hello and welcome to another podcast. If you're a regular here, you might recognize that I'm coming to you from Norway today. I'm going to share with you what I've been knitting since I've been here. I've been here for exactly a week now. I've been to a couple of yarn shops. I bought some yarn. I've got a project on the needles, and I finished something while I've been here, and I made some progress on something else. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So if you're a regular here, you will see that I'm in Norway, in my bedroom in Norway. I've been in Norway for a week now, and I've really struggled to find time to film anything. I haven't really done an awful lot apart from running errands, taking my parents to appointment. I joined a local gym for I bought like a weekly pass so I can go to spin classes, i.e. group cycling classes like I do at home. At home I do 3 a week. Here I've been doing 4 a week. So I've done 4 so far, and I'm doing another one tonight. And I've gone to the gym once, I think. So I've been trying to keep up with my workouts while I've been here, because I notice when I'm here and I don't work out, even if I go for walks, I end up in a lot more pain. My back's worse, my knees are worse, my hips are worse, everything just hurts a lot more. And exercise, especially cycling, seems to really help that. So I decided this time I would spend the money on a weekly pass at one of the local gyms. And that's been really worth it. Tuesday, I put out a video about knitting with finer yarns, thinner needles, and new techniques. So if you're scared of knitting with thinner yarn, thinner needles, or tackling new scary techniques, I just give you some of my advice in that video. When I first got back into knitting in my 30s, about 20 years ago, mid-30s, early to mid-30s, after a bit of a break in my late 20s, early 30s, I was really terrified of knitting with thin yarns. I bought some really fine yarn and I kept casting on with it and thinking, I can't knit with this, it's too thin, and then unraveling it and putting it away, and I kept doing that quite a few times. So eventually I got used to knitting with thin yarns and tackling new techniques. The only really difficult thing I'd done before then was colour work. So I'd done like plain knitting, stocking stitch, garter stitch, and colour work, stranded colour work. But I'd never done lace knitting, brioche knitting, intarsia, any of those things. And I gradually challenged myself to tackle those things and learn those things over the last 20 years. So I give my advice in Tuesday's video this week. Also, do check out my workshops. They'll be listed below. I've got workshops coming up at Spinning Yarn in Bobby Tracy. Not next week, the week after. I remember the date, but the date is below. I've got a finishing techniques workshop at Spinning Yarn in Bobby Tracy in Devon. I have workshops coming up at the end of November and early December at the Brixham Sewing Box in Brixham in South Devon. And of course, I have my workshops at Harrogate Knit and Stitch Show. That's what, a couple of weeks away? No, 3 weeks away, I think it is. Loads of workshops there, and there are still spaces for some of those workshops. And if you look in the description below, there is a discount code there for general entry to the show. So do go and check that out. I think it's £2 off entry tickets or something. All the details are below, so do go and check that out. If you want to search for the workshops on my website, the link is below. Click on the advanced filter and then scroll down till you see my name. And then click on that and you'll just see my workshops, because there's a lot of workshops there. I've also decided to do a pattern of the week highlight starting this week. I haven't actually decided which pattern it's going to be yet. So if you signed up to your newsletter, make sure you check that out. Otherwise, check out my social media. I will share it on Friday in my newsletter and on my social media. So my Facebook group, Love of Lace Knitting, my Instagram, my Twitter or X, Blue Sky, Threads. They're the platforms I use regularly. I will try and remember to put up a community post here on YouTube as well if I remember, but I tend to not think about putting up a static post on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, I've decided for the rest of this year, just as a trial, to do a pattern of the week where I highlight one of my older patterns and give you 25% off that pattern for a week. So I will share it in my newsletter every week, plus on my social media. And from next week I'll also try and share it in my YouTube video, but I haven't thought about it yet. Well, I thought about it yesterday, but I haven't decided which pattern yet. So unless I decide before I edit this, if I do, I'll put up a little thing on the screen with the details. But you can buy all my patterns from my Ravelry and PayHip pattern shops, and the links to those are below. And you can also check out my online courses. My online shop will be reopening again next week when I get back home. Right, let's get on to what I've been knitting since I've been here. So when I left home, I cast on for a new clutch bag. I knitted one before I came here. I finished it like day 2 before I left, but I didn't attach the clutch frame because I have a new clutch frame to try it. You can see me talking about it in the podcast 2 weeks ago, and I need to get some super glue for it, so I didn't get around to doing that. But I decided to knit another one because I wanted to use my regular clutch frames as well. So I cast on for another one, and I finished the knitting last night. So let me just show you. Obviously this is just the knitting. I haven't attached the lining or the clutch frame yet, but it has loads of beads. It has 1,000 beads. Now, I was told when I started stocking the Debbie Abrahams seed beads, there was approximately 500 in each bag. On the first one of these, I took out 2 bags of seed beads, so approximately 1,000. And I think I did 12 repeats of this, which meant that I didn't work out how many beads I would need before I did it. I just kept going. And then when I was kind of starting to run out of yarn and beads, I kind of stopped. And I think I've written down that I did 12 repeats. I sat down the other day and worked out how many beads that was. That was way over 1,000. But I only had 2 bags. I didn't open a third bag, so there must have been more than 500 in those 2 bags. Anyway, on this one, I was counting, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half repeats on this one. So 10 repeats plus the first 3 rows of the next repeat. And I've used 1,050 beads. So I'm thinking when I go home, before I finish the other pattern, before I attach the clutch frame, I may actually remove a few rows. So it's the same as this one, which means that this one is a little bit shorter, like a couple of centimeters shorter than my other clutch bags. I was trying to make it the same height so I could use the same schematic and everything for the fabric layout and everything, but I may have to change it slightly to make sure I stick to 2 bags of beads, because I don't really want to go into a third. I was starting to notice I was running out of beads. So that's why I decided to do a bit of quick maths, and I still have some beads left. I've probably got like about 50 beads left or something, but I'm very happy with this. Love this color, love the beads. So I'll talk about that when I get home. Won't be next week because I'm not going home till Thursday next week, but when I go home the week after, I will finish this, and so it'll be in the podcast in 2 weeks' time, I expect. You can see what it'll look like finished. The other thing I've been working on is my pink mohair sweater. So I bought this yarn when I was here in May, local yarn shop just down the road, 15 minutes walk away. Have baskets on their porch. They got quite a big porch, and they have baskets out there with stuff that's in the sale or stuff that's been reduced. Normally I just walk straight past those. But I looked in there when I was there in February, I guess it was, because I saw some Norway, and I bought a Norway silk garden sock for, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but really good price. I made a shawl called Lamona Cove, which comes in 2 sizes. Since then, whenever I've been in this yarn shop, I've always checked what's on their porch to see if I can find any other bargains. And when I was there in May, they had this yarn. It's Dalagan. It's tin, which means thin, kid silk ala, which is 53% kid mohair, 34% silk, 30% wool. And it's 287 meters per 25 grams. It's quite fine, but it has some mohair, so it doesn't feel as fine. Anyway, I bought 8 balls of it because I thought that'll be enough to do a sweater if I decide to do that, or a vest, like a sleeveless top, if I hold 2 strands double. So that's what I decided to do. Now, I have said before that I'm not hugely keen on mohair, and I'm aware of the fact that I'm dressed all in black today. I got black jeans on, I got a black top on, and I have to take my dad to the doctor's lunchtime. So I'm trying not to get pink fluff all over me before I go. But I cast this on day after I arrived, I think. That's the back. So when I last recorded, that's where I was. And then I knitted the rest of that and all of the front. So I'm nearly, I think I'm a couple of rows, maybe 4 rows or something, from finishing the underarm shaping. So I'm knitting this top down. So I'm about here, just about to finish the armhole shaping on the front, and then I'm going to join it. I hoped to get to that point last night, but it was getting late and I was tired, so I thought I'd go to bed. So I want to do that this afternoon. I'm not going to knit on it this morning because I'm aware of the fact that I'm all dressed in black and I've got to go out later on. So I'm not going to knit on this morning. When I come back from taking my dad to the doctor's, I will knit on this probably for a couple of hours or whatever time I have before dinner. We're getting a takeaway today, so I have to go and get that. And then I'm going to spin class this evening. So I'd like to finish the underarms today, start knitting on the body, and also try it on for fits. I need to put on, I have a pink t-shirt actually that's similar in colour to that, so I might put that on later and try it on for fit after I've joined for the underarms, just to see what the fit's like before I carry on. I really want to finish this while I'm here. It's not the end of the world if I don't finish it, but I would like to finish it while I'm here. So I had hoped to get further by now, but I also know from experience that the top bit to the underarms takes the longest. Once I'm at the underarm and I can just knit in around, it's fairly quick. I said last week that I'd hoped to get to that point before I went to the cinema on Saturday, but I hadn't even finished it back. I did go to the cinema on Saturday and saw Downton Abbey. I went down to the local yarn shop in the morning. I'll show you some footage here. So I brought my fairy tale brioche scarf, which is knitted in Kiviot, which is very luxurious. So you can either wear it like that, wrap around twice for a cowl, or you can, let me just see if I can do, you can just wear it loose around your neck if you get a bit warm. So I brought that because it's so small and thin, and it's very warm. I haven't actually worn it yet because it hasn't been that cold. Temperatures have dropped a bit the last few days, but I've basically just been going down to the garage, underground garage, into the car, driven to a shopping centre or the gym, and then parked up and gone into the shops. 2 different shopping centres. They both have underground parking or indoor parking. The gym, I can park right outside, so I haven't worn the scarf because I really needed it. I've only been out for a walk once since I've been here, and it wasn't that cold. Weather's not been great. It's been a lot of rain. It was sunny yesterday, but we went shopping yesterday, so no, I didn't go for a walk yesterday. And we haven't really had any days out anywhere other than to the shopping centre. I decided I wanted to knit a hat, my Cornwall hat, which I'll pop a picture on the screen, with the yarn that matches the darker purple in this. So Saturday I popped to the local yarn shop. they had a yarn, it was Regia sock yarn, and it was very close to that purple colour, very close. But they only had 50 grams and I needed more than that. So I asked to see if they had any more in their stock room and they didn't. So I looked to see if they also had one of the colour that matched or was close to the lighter colour, so like more of a lilac-y colour, but they didn't. So I decided not to get that. And I looked around and I ended up getting this yarn. So it's not exactly the same, a little bit lighter, but I think it'll be okay. So this is, let me just put my scarf down. This is Concept by Katya Atinia, and on the front it says extra fine merino and cashmere. So when you look at the label, it says 42% virgin wool, 40% cotton, 18% cashmere. So there's nothing on the front saying there's wool, cashmere, cotton. It just says extra fine merino wool and cashmere. It should have said extra fine merino wool, cotton and cashmere. I'm a bit annoyed with that because it has the same amount of cotton in it, or nearly the same amount. So it's got 42% wool, 40% cotton, 18% cashmere. So it's nearly as much cotton as there is wool. So a little bit annoyed by that. It wouldn't have affected me buying it or not, because I did actually read the label before I bought it. But this is a lace weight yarn. So it's 175 meters per 25 grams. So this is a lot thinner than the yarn I knitted my other Cornwall hats in, where I used 4-ply yarn or sock yarn. So I've gone for the same needle size, 3mm needles. Normally for me, I will knit in medium size in the Cornwall pattern. Instead, I've knitted the largest size, which is what I normally knit for my husband. I haven't tried it on, so I just hope it fits. It looks fine. Probably should put it on a longer needle and try it on at some point. I went to the yarn shop last Saturday morning, came home, cast this on, knitted as much of the crown as I could. Then I went to a nearby town called She, where the cinema is. I had a look around some shops there, including the yarn shop, didn't buy anything. And then I found a coffee shop and sat down and knitted on the crown as much as I possibly could. And I got to the final increase round before I had to go down to the cinema, which is underneath the shopping centre. So I went down to the cinema, and while they were showing the ads, I finished. Actually, no, I was still doing the crown increases. I was on the last round of the crown increases when the film started, that's right. So when they first dimmed the lights for the film to actually start, because they have the lights half on for the ads, so the last increase round I did in the dark while the film was playing. So I saw Downton Abbey, the final movie, the third one. I thought that was the best one out of the three. I didn't like the first one at all. I thought the first one was stupid, a bit silly. I watched it recently on television as well, most of it, like probably about 90% of it. I missed the beginning, and I just still didn't really like it. The second one I thought was a lot better, and this one I thought was on par with the second one, probably the best one. I spoke to my daughter and she didn't agree with me. She thought the first one was better. So what do I know? But I enjoyed it. Film was about 2 hours long, about 26 rounds, I think, and there's 144 stitches per round. I'll put up the correct thing on the screen when I edit it, because it's very difficult to count. Yeah, I'm filming in front of the window, so I'll have good light on my face, but the room, I forgot to put a light on in the room, so the room behind me is a bit dark. But I'm quite happy with this. It is thinner, but I think because of the double layer hat, I think that'll be warm enough. So I haven't worked on it a lot because I really want to make some progress on that pink sweater. So this has just been like my out and about project, and we haven't really been out and about that much, so I haven't done a lot on it. I'm going to work on it this morning while I edit this video until we go out this afternoon for my dad's appointment, and then when I get back from that, I'll work on the sweater. So basically, if I'm going out and about somewhere or do any knitting in the morning before I go out, so I don't end up getting pink fluff all over myself, I will knit on that hat. I would like to get to the halfway point before I leave next Thursday, so by next Wednesday morning really, so that I know whether I need to get another ball of yarn or not. I don't want to buy any more of this if I don't need it, and I don't think I will. I want to make sure I have one ball left before before I start the second half. And I have quite a lot of knitting to do. So I'm going to take it with me this afternoon. I don't know whether my dad's just going for a checkup or whether he's having any treatment done. My mum's not sure. So I got to go in with him for the consultation, and then if he's having any treatment done, that'll probably take like an hour or two, so then I can disappear off and find a coffee shop. There's also a yarn shop around the back behind where the dermatologist is. So if it's just a checkup, then we'll go up there and then get back in the car and drive home. If it's a treatment as well, then I can leave and go and have a look around the yarn shop. It's not a great yarn shop, so I'm not missing much if I can't go in there. And then I can go and find a coffee shop and sit and knit. So I'll take that hat with me this afternoon. So that's all I've been working on while I've been here. Like I said, I want to finish the pink jumper. And I'd like to get to the halfway point on that hat before I leave. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, then please consider subscribing. Please check out my workshops below, my online courses, and my social media. And don't forget to look out on Friday, the day this video goes live, for my Pattern of the Week discount. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.